Okay, hi there. It has been a while since I came in front of the camera to shoot something for YouTube, and I've been meaning to do this for a long time. But your girl has been busy thinking, building, living life, understanding, and lots has happened in the past 1 year ever since I've posted anything. And I actually took a break from creating or posting anything in terms of making videos or posting anything on social media because I was burnt out, and I have been struggling with my health for the past 5 years, 6 years, up and down for a while. And I realized that this constant state of putting too much on my plate was very fun and very interesting. And I am a person who likes to do a lot of things with an equal passion and reverence. But I also realize that I have to remind myself that I am a human, and it's okay for me to pause. And it's okay for me to pause without guilt, without the guilt of showing up, without the guilt of thinking that I have to be consistent on something because I've started it, even if it's making me miserable. It's actually known as a sunken cost fallacy, which I will briefly tell you about. Is that you continue to do something because you feel that you've invested an enormous amount of time into doing it, and you put aside your feelings and your needs that it's probably not working out for you anymore. You have to continue to do it to probably prove yourself a point, or maybe prove a point to other people around you. Could be anything. For me, I've always been the kind of person who likes accountability within myself. So I continue to do it to a point where my hormones were not balanced again. I was going through really bad phases of PMDD. For those of you who don't know PMDD, it is a more severe form of PMS. And these things have been going on for a while, up and down. As you know, I live a very clean, healthy lifestyle as much as I can, which means saying no to a lot of things. And I have said no to a lot of things in terms of eating clean, making the right choices, being disciplined with my body. The only thing which I was struggling was that my nervous system was still not regulated because I was putting too much on my plate. Anyway, the past decade, I feel now, close to a decade, has just been in this cycle of studying and working and finally being a doctor. And then while I was while I was studying to be a doctor, I was also running my business, which I still am. And I was also pursuing things on the side and creating content. I've always also been interested in music. So last year, I also picked up music properly, which I will get to in a bit, and how it really truly healed me. But coming back to the point why I took break was I was too overwhelmed, and I realized that it's time for me to pause and it's time for me to heal, even if it means that I break something which I was so consistently doing, and it felt terrible because like the number one advice on algorithms generally is like you have to be consistent, like keep generating content like you're some content machine. uh, and I'm a human, and I'm a woman with cycles, and a woman whose cycles got so disrupted because it was being demanded to work in a way which just didn't align by me. And so I was like, okay, better for me to take a pause and look inwards for my healing. And I also had to come in terms that I have been battling a chronic health issue for quite a long time, while being the person who has been working in medicine and health and wellness, and working with other people, working with women for the same problems that I have been experiencing, for the same very reason, that when I am working as a health coach, as a functional medicine doctor with them, it's not it's not just that I am coaching them, it's also that we are working together, because with every person that I work, I also learn a lot of things within myself, and everything that I teach or everything that I sort of work upon with them is also something which I am embodying within myself, and it comes from my own experiences. So everything has just not been studied academically, has just not been applied academically, but also is something which I have felt, seen, and currently I'm doing in my own life. And that's when I tell it to my clients, and that's when I tell it to my patients. That's one thing that I've always been about. So, and I realized it was time for me to take my own advice and pause, because if it were somebody else, I would have asked them to definitely take a break, uh, considering if they were going through chronic health issues. So I took a break from creating, and also had to take a break from work for a bit, because I was undergoing really bad insomnia, and I haven't really opened up about this to a lot of people with about my health issues, but I think transparency is good, and a lot of my decisions and a lot of things that I speak about, feel about, come from a very strong place of making my health the number one priority. And it's been a while that I have been experiencing this. So coming short, I took the break, and I realized, okay, what do I need to sort of do now? And this was the problem. I have always been somebody who wants to do something, and then the answer came in that there's nothing to do but only to be, to get into the state of being rather than doing. Because all of these years, I have been in this constant state of doing, whether it's on myself, whether it was my career, whether it was my relationships, whatever it was, I was always the person who was doing go, 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 just like on the get go, a go getter, type A, all of that. I still am. I love to have my things planned. I love to like have systems in place, but now more from a place of being. And the biggest driver of it were of me getting into this phase and this mindset and embodying being rather than doing has been connecting with my intuition, and how I am relating all of these different aspects of me being burnt out, battling health issues, connecting my life to my intuition. It all really stems uh, down to things that I have experienced within my own life, and where I envision myself to go and grow in the future as. And everything sort of ties up into it. It's just not health related, it's just not something about spirituality or philosophy. I feel everything in your life is so tied up, um, and my life has been like one big example of this. So I took the break from work, from doing posting content. Also had to say no to a lot of clients who wanted to work with me. Had to say no to a lot of things which I would have felt incredibly guilty about, because imagine walking away from a table you've worked so hard to sit on, right? But that's a cost, and it's always a great reminder that there are no trade-offs. Sorry, that there are no solutions, only trade-offs. So, I took the break and I devoted myself to my own self studying, and I finally got the time to devote myself to music. This was something that I had been wanting to do for a very long time, to learn how to make music, to get into music production. And last year was the year that I did that wholly, fully. And I have never been happier to finally be able to get another extension of my creative self, and having these another set of tools to express what I feel. Because I feel like kind of exhausted my lexical resources with writing and poetry, which I truly love, and I still do. Also published my first poetry book last year, so yay. And got into music and started to learn how to make music and started to understand how music was healing me, and just understanding the whole nitty-gritties of music and different, frequencies and different sounds and their interactions, and how, and also just thinking in terms of health and well-being, how a lot of sound designing was helping me heal my own body, and how I improved my sleep through a mix of practices like a lot of different breath work, NSTR or yoga nidra, PMR, progressive muscle relaxation, while listening to sleep music, ambient music. I mean, I don't really focus upon, say, frequencies of certain music unless I am mixing and everything, yes. But in general, sound and me just getting into a regulated state and healing my nervous system has been a huge part of my of my healing journey, which was a huge part of me last year. And coming back and going with it has been coming back to right now, and just having music in my life, and eventually now getting back to work, and also get sort of getting ready for some major life changes which are happening, moving to a new chapter of my life, which will be revealed to you at some point, I think. uh, has now again gotten me into that go getter zone. So I am not, I mean, I am in the same situation which I was when I was burnt out last year. And the past few weeks were sort of very, uh, very shaky. I had a lot of turmoil in my life in terms of just having a lot on my plate, with work, with studies, with creative aspects, and again started to feel conflicted as to how do I position everything that I want in my life, which is where the whole point of me coming back to my intuition uh, kicked in. That as much as I love doing all of these things with equal passion and fervor, I have to understand that there's a season for everything. And that is the whole point of the of the video, now that I think about it, which I didn't think about 13 minutes back, is that I have now started to embrace seasons of life, which was something that I was not doing before, which kept me in a very dysregulated state and burnt me out, kept my health bad. But now I realize that there's a season for everything, and it's okay for me to love everything, and it's okay for me to not having to pursue everything all at once. At every point of my life, I have to sort of prioritize that the season is where I have to give the maximum amount of energy to my health or to my career, and then there's going to be another season where I get some more time to work on my creative aspects. And it doesn't mean that everything has to like be black and white, but I can readjust my mental time and energy that I give to those things in my schedule, so that also emotionally I feel like emotional feedback that comes in, that I whatever I'm doing is enough. Whatever I have to be doing, whatever I need to be accomplishing is being done in a way which aligns with that season of life. So uh, my advice to you would be, if you ever feel conflicted, or if you ever feel confused that there are maybe too many things that you would like to do and there's not enough time, or if you ever find yourself in a similar situation like me where you're burnt out, or you are a multi-passionate creative with a lot of things, of course having clarity on what do you want to do from a point of career, and what are your hobbies is something very important, which I have a good clarity upon. So I know like medicine has always been something which is close to me. Medicine, fitness will always be my career. But I also love the creative aspect of my life, which is poetry and writing and music, everything, which also sort of feeds into who I am. So I'm just not one person. I'm just not a doctor. I'm just not a writer. I'm just not a music producer. I am a human with all of these interests, and every aspect of my life which I truly love feeds into itself and allows me to show up as this person who's talking to you right now. And the way that I've learned how I can balance this is to embrace the season of life, that whichever season I am in my life currently, I sow the seeds of that. I water my plants. I relish that garden. I sit in it. I enjoy the time. And when the seasons change and when there's this transition, I just allow it to be. It doesn't have to be one thing all at once. And of course, never comparing anything that you see on the internet with your own journey, because we only see a very, very, very tiny, futile fraction of the reality, what we see on the internet. So, definitely have boundaries there. And this was something which truly helped me, that I have been quite away from consuming uh, content online. I spend 90% of my time offline. That's why I'm a bad replier. Apologies. But that's something which I have to do to keep my body and my mind healthy, and also be able to sort of be in the space where I can be okay embracing the seasons of life. So just understand which season of your life aligns with you right now, what is something which truly speaks to you intuitively. Intuition is something I have a lot to talk upon, which I will talk in the subsequent videos, as I am just sitting here speaking with no script, no agenda, only thoughts and experiences. So have something which you feel truly is calling for you right now. See if it aligns with your values. Your goals should always be aligning with your values first. It's not something which we borrow from the outside world, from what we see on the internet, from something which is being told to us, but it should be something which is of our own choosing. And things which are of our own choosing, even when they're difficult, even when it's hard, are something which make us truly happy. This is something which is really important, that everything you choose is going to be absolutely difficult at some point, some place. Like, there's nothing which is perfect, and it shouldn't be, because then what's the whole point of us feeling and us writing and us creating music and us healing ourselves and just being alive? Imperfection is beauty, and I lean into discomfort and I lean into imperfections, but of my own choosing, something which I have chosen for myself intuitively, and not something which has been fed to me because I was told that this is something I have to do. And I think that sums up my point. Choose the seasons of your life. Don't be afraid to take a break if you need to pause without guilt, to reorient, realign. Your progress and your growth should make sense to you first. Even if it doesn't momentarily, it's okay. It's okay to sit with that discomfort and nonsensical beauty of life. And then eventually, as seasons change, things will start making sense as well. So I think that's about it. Let me know what you have in mind, any thoughts, any stories you'd like to share. And yeah, hopefully see you around. Bye.